most common ways to get a refund is either through direct deposit, coming in, picking up a check from a tax office, or using what we call our prepaid card, loaded up. Those are the 3 common ways to receive a refund. Typically, a person that does not have any dependents could look for their return between anywhere from 7 to 14 days for their returns to come back. Once the 3-week period pretty much is decided from the PATH Act, then we'll start seeing those with dependents coming in a little more, right about anywhere from 14 days, 21 at the most, and so long as everything on the return checks out, where there's no issues or anything that's going on with the return. Direct deposit, come pick up a check from the tax office, or they can put it on the prepaid cards. So those are the 3 ways that they can receive their refunds back. So if there is a discrepancy, first we have to find out what the discrepancy is. So let's say, for an example, the discrepancy is the fact that someone has a debt. So there's an offset, that's called an offset. So when there's an offset taking place, well, of course, it's going to take the return longer to come back to the taxpayer. Also, sometimes there are discrepancies in the insurance because people don't realize that they have, most of the time, the Form 1095A, which is really what's the holdup, because now they are looking for this particular form because you say you have health care through the Obama healthcare system, and when they don't see that particular form, then they send a letter and they say we need to send in an 8962 to verify the months and the amount of insurance and premiums that were on the insurance, so that can hold you up about 3 weeks before you can get your tax refund in. So, and a lot of times people move. So when they say, well, I want you to mail it to me. If they move, then they think they can call the IRS and say, well, my new address is, but the IRS will not accept a phone call for as a change of address is concerned. So there are a lot of things that can hold a return up once it's left our office. If you sit up and say, oh, wow, I got so much more this year than I did last year, well, you should ask yourself why. You know, so when the tax return goes off and it comes back and then you get the money, and later on, which I call a Dear John letter that says, excuse me, but we wanted you to explain this particular item and this particular item, and those items on your return that you, first of all, had no knowledge were on your return. Now you're in debt to the IRS. So it's just so important that you know who's preparing your taxes. Your preparer should go over your return. Once your return is done, they should be able to go line by line, precept by precept, so that you can understand what is on your return and never leave the office without signing your return. Always sign your return and always get a copy of what was done. And then once you do that, you'll have what's called a peace of mind. And then all your things will be done correct. You don't have any you don't have anything that comes back negative to you at the end. And every year you just continue to keep going to the same person. You all get to know each other. They get to know your finances, your needs, and then you have no problem.